What's up, everyone? There's been a ton of buzz lately about Robert Williams possibly heading to the Los Angeles Lakers, and honestly the chatter is that the Lakers are the favorites to land him. I've seen some deep dive on this already, including a trade proposal from Jake Weinbach that tries to lay out how the Lakers could make this happen, and how they'd also satisfy the Denver Nuggets and the Portland Trail Blazers in the process. But honestly, I'm not a fan of the trade that's been suggested, and I want to break down exactly why I think it doesn't make much sense for the Lakers to pull the trigger on this deal just to get Robert Williams. So here's what the trade looks like. The Lakers would get Robert Williams III, and the Trailblazers would receive Maxi Kleber, Dalton Knecht, and a future second-round pick from 2032 that comes from the Lakers. Now, there's no clear indication if Portland is even open to offers right now, but we know the Lakers have definitely inquired about Williams. I'm all for bringing in Robert Williams if you can. I think he's exactly the kind of player who could make a real difference for this team. But the problem is the cost, mainly giving up Dalton Knecht and that future second-round pick for a player you're not even sure will play more than 20 games in the upcoming season. That's the crux of it. Robert Williams is an absolute risk. If somehow you had a crystal ball and could predict the future, and you knew for sure that Robert Williams would come to the Lakers, stay healthy, and play 65 games next season plus all the playoffs, then yeah, pull the trigger on that trade right now. Give up Dalton Knecht, the second-round pick, whatever it takes, because he is that impactful. He's that good, but the reality is that we don't know if that will happen. We're taking a gamble on a player with a history of injuries and uncertain availability. And Dalton Knecht, while he might not be the flashiest name, is more valuable than a lot of people think. Some fans might dismiss him as trash or whatever, but the best ability is availability, right? You want players you can count on night in, night out. Dalton Knecht is a guy you can trust to play around 70 games in a season. Someone who can space the floor with his shooting and contribute consistently. Meanwhile, Robert Williams could be out of the league in a couple of years if his body doesn't hold up, so there's a big question mark hanging over him. That said, Robert Williams is literally everything this Lakers team needs right now. He's a bruiser in the paint, a physical force who can rebound like a beast, protect the rim guard in space, block shots, and serve as a key help defender. He checks every box you want for a center on this team. He's got the youth too, turning 28 next season, so it's not like he's washed up. He'd be a huge upgrade over what they currently have in backup bigs, especially compared to someone like Jackson Hayes, who just hasn't shown he can consistently change the game. If Robert Williams is healthy, he's the kind of guy who can be a real game changer, but again, that's the problem. We don't know if he'll be healthy. His injury history is a serious red flag. He's missed significant time in recent years. Beyond that, he's a free agent soon. There's no guarantee he'll even stick around if the Lakers acquire him. There are reports suggesting the Lakers are interested, partly because of his connection with Marcus Smart, who was just added to the roster. Smart and Williams reportedly have a good relationship and chemistry, which could help keep Williams on board. Smart's leadership and presence might persuade Robert to stay put, which would be huge for the Lakers. Still, giving up Dalton Knecht and a second-round pick just to get Robert Williams, that's a steep price. If you're only getting Williams in return, the trade might make more sense if you're swapping Maxi Kleber and Dalton Knecht for both Robert Williams and another player like Matty Stibble. That would change the calculus entirely, because then you're getting to key pieces that address multiple needs. In that scenario, the value on the Lakers side increases enough to justify the risk. Matty Stibble brings a lot to the table too. He's one of the best perimeter defenders in the league, capable of guarding 1 through 3. And he's an effective three-point shooter, having hit around 38% from beyond the arc over the last 3 seasons. Pairing him with Williams would give the Lakers a formidable defensive duo, a rim protector inside and a versatile wing defender on the perimeter. Plus, the Bulls' shooting would add a much-needed floor spacing element. Playing alongside Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves, the quality of shots Stibble would get should only improve, boosting his offensive numbers. So if the Lakers can swing a deal for both Robert Williams and Matty Stibble by giving up Maxi Kleber, Dalton Knecht, Gabe Vincent, and a second-round pick, then I'm all for it. That's a package that finally balances the risk with the reward. Suddenly, the Lakers would have a team with elite defense on the perimeter and inside shooting, size, toughness, and versatility. They'd also open up a roster spot to add another piece, maybe a guy like DeAnthony Melton, if the Warriors keep dragging their feet on that front. Adding Melton to a lineup with Marcus Smart, Stibble, Robert Williams, And others like Austin Reeves would give the Lakers a roster that's deep, versatile, and strong defensively, the kind of team that could realistically challenge for an NBA title. But if the Lakers are only getting Robert Williams and giving up Dalton Knecht and a second-rounder for him alone, I just don't see the value. The trade doesn't feel worth the gamble, especially with his injury history and uncertain future. Williams is incredible when healthy, a 6-foot beast with a 7'6" wingspan length and athleticism to guard multiple positions. He does everything well for the Lakers style. But he's missed a ton of games lately. Over the past 2 seasons, he played only 26 games combined, and over the last 3 seasons, just around 6-1 total. His best season in recent memory was also 6-1 games. That's just not the kind of availability you want when you're handing over assets. Still, if you could be sure he'd play at least 65 games next year and be fully healthy come playoff time, then yes, trade away the assets. He'd be that impactful. His per 36-minute stats are ridiculous, about 12 points, 12 rebounds to assists, 1.5 steals, and 3.5 blocks. Those are video game numbers, but those stats come in limited minutes and with inconsistency. So patience might be the best approach for the Lakers right now. Wait for the right moment to make a move, maybe when the Trailblazers are willing to part with both Williams and Stibble in a deal that makes sense. At the end of the day, Robert Williams alone is too much of a risk to justify the price. But combined with a player like Matty Stibble who fills another major need, it becomes a package worth considering seriously. The Lakers have been adding pieces like Marcus Smart, Jared Vanderbilt, Austin Reeves, and others, building depth and defense. Adding Williams and Stibble would complete a puzzle that could make this Lakers team a legitimate contender again, but only if everyone stays healthy. That's the catch and the biggest question mark hanging over any deal involving Robert Williams. Now, when you really dig into the details of Robert Williams and why he's such a coveted player, it's easy to get caught up in the hype. He's the kind of player who can change a team's defensive identity overnight. The Lakers have been searching for that rim protector for years. They've struggled with interior defense, rim protection, and rebounding. It's a glaring weakness that's held them back from truly competing against elite teams in the playoffs. Robert Williams offers everything you want in a modern NBA center: athleticism, shot blocking, rim protection, the ability to defend pick and roll, and switching onto smaller guys if needed. On paper, it's a perfect fit, but paper only tells part of the story. The reality is, as I said before, he's been in and out of the lineup due to injuries, and that's not something you can ignore when you're building a championship contender. The Lakers don't just need talent, they need reliability. They need to know that when the playoffs come around, their big man is going to be available night after night, able to play meaningful minutes without risking re-injury or further absence. That's what's so frustrating about Robert Williams. When he's healthy, he's a difference maker, but healthy has been the exception, not the rule. So the risk-reward balance here is delicate. Do you bet on a player who might only give you half a season of service, but could elevate your team's defense and overall identity, or do you keep the assets like Dalton Knecht, who can play a solid 70 games, bring shooting, and fit into your system more reliably? That's the tough call the Lakers front office has to make. And from what I see, the smarter play might be patience. Wait until you can get both Robert Williams and another key piece, someone like Matty Stibble, for a package that justifies the risk. Because one player alone, as great as he is, doesn't solve all your problems. Now let's talk about Matty Stibble for a second, because he's really an underrated piece in this puzzle. Stibble is one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. He's got length, quickness, and instincts that allow him to guard multiple positions effectively. He can shut down opposing wings and guards, create turnovers, and disrupt defenses in a way few players can. On top of that, he's a legitimate threat from deep, shooting over 38% on threes the past few seasons. That's critical for the Lakers, who have historically struggled with consistent shooting and floor spacing. If the Lakers were to bring in Stibble alongside Robert Williams, they'd immediately upgrade their defensive versatility. Think about it. Robert Williams protects the rim and controls the paint, while Stibble clamps down on wings and guards. You suddenly have this two-pronged defensive force that can switch, rotate, and pressure all over the floor. That kind of defense is championship-caliber defense. It's the kind of thing that can take a good team to the next level. Now, of course, there's still risk with Stibble too. He's had some injury issues himself, and his offensive game has limitations. But when paired with elite creators like LeBron James and Austin Reeves, his weaknesses are less glaring. He won't be asked to carry the offense. His role is more specialized, focusing on defense and spot-up shooting. And if he can maintain his shooting percentages, that will stretch defenses and open up lanes for the Lakers stars to operate. This is why I keep coming back to the idea that the Lakers shouldn't just chase Robert Williams alone. The value just isn't there when you consider the assets you have to give up. Maxi Kleber is a solid, versatile big man who can stretch the floor and defend multiple positions. Dalton Knecht has value as a dependable shooter and energy guy. Together they form a package that's worth something. Throwing away that package for just one player with health concerns is a gamble the Lakers don't need to take right now. The landscape of the NBA today is all about depth and versatility. Teams that win championships have a strong starting five but also a deep bench that can contribute on both ends of the floor. The Lakers have been trying to rebuild toward that model by adding veterans and young pieces like Marcus Smart, Jared Vanderbilt, and Austin Reeves. Adding Robert Williams and Matty Stibble fits perfectly into that vision, but only if the price is right. If they have to overpay, it could hinder their flexibility and future moves. Another factor to consider is Robert Williams' impending free agency. There's no guarantee he'll sign an extension with the Lakers if they acquire him. The team would have to figure out a way to convince him to stay. And that's where the presence of Marcus Smart could be key. Smart is known as a leader and a stabilizing presence in the locker room, someone who can help foster a winning culture and keep teammates motivated. His relationship with Williams might be the difference between Williams signing a long-term deal or walking away after a short stint. But betting on that is still a risk. The Lakers might be better off focusing on acquiring young, controllable talent who fit their timeline and culture. Someone like Stibble fits that mold perfectly. He's younger, under contract, and fits the defensive identity the Lakers want. That added stability might outweigh the potential upside of Williams, who remains an injury risk and a question mark beyond this season. Of course, injuries aren't the only concern with Robert Williams. There's also the issue of consistency and how he fits within the Lakers' overall style of play. He's a traditional center with elite defensive skills, but he's not a primary scorer or playmaker. The Lakers already have stars like LeBron James and Austin Reeves who create offense. Williams' role would be more specialized, protecting the paint, grabbing rebounds, and setting screens. While that role is important, it's not a game changer on its own unless he's healthy and available consistently. That's why the Lakers would ideally want to pair him with a player like Stibble who can impact the game on the perimeter and help close out games defensively. Together they create a more complete defensive unit that covers multiple needs. And if you add veterans like Marcus Smart, who can both defend and facilitate, and shooters like Gabe Vincent, the Lakers suddenly have a well-rounded roster capable of competing with the best in the league. But again, this all comes back to price and risk. Giving up assets like Dalton Knecht and future draft picks for just one player who might not stay healthy or even remain with the team long-term is a gamble. The Lakers have to weigh whether it's worth sacrificing flexibility and depth for that potential upside. In my opinion, it's not. Patience is key. Wait for the right package that gets you both Williams and Stibble or another complementary piece before making a move. At the end of the day, the Lakers front office is faced with a difficult decision. They need to improve their interior defense and rebounding to compete at the highest level. Robert Williams is an ideal fit on paper, but his injury history and free agency status make him a risky acquisition. Meanwhile, players like Dalton Knecht and Maxi Kleber provide value and stability that can't be overlooked. Adding Matty Stibble to the mix would greatly improve the team's perimeter defense and shooting, making a potential trade more balanced. If the Lakers can find a way to bring in both Williams and Stibble without mortgaging their future or depth, then they'd be wise to pull the trigger. That duo, combined with their existing stars and role players, could make them one of the best defensive teams in the league. But without that, chasing just Robert Williams at too high a cost doesn't make sense. So my takeaway is this: the Lakers should be patient. They should continue to build through smart additions and keep their assets intact. If the opportunity rises to acquire Robert Williams and Matty Stibble together in a deal that makes sense, then go all in. Otherwise, hold your cards, maintain roster flexibility, and trust that the right pieces will come together at the right time. This is a high-stakes chess game, and the Lakers have to play it carefully. Making a rash move for a single player who might not stay healthy could set them back rather than move them forward. The value of availability, reliability, and fit can't be overstated. The Lakers want to build a championship contender, but that doesn't mean rushing to grab every star name. It means building a balanced roster that can win together, stay healthy, and sustain success over multiple seasons. In conclusion, Robert Williams is a phenomenal talent and would be a great addition if the stars align, but the Lakers shouldn't overpay for him alone. Adding Matty Stibble alongside him makes much more sense, providing a defensive and shooting upgrade that complements the roster. Until then, patience is the best policy. The Lakers have time, assets, and the foundational pieces to build a contender. It's just a matter of making the right moves at the right time. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on, whispers are swirling around the NBA as rumors heat up about Filipino basketball sensation Sodto potentially signing with the Los Angeles Lakers. The 22-year-old towering talent, known for his exceptional height and skill set, has been on the radar of multiple NBA teams, but recent buzz suggests the Lakers could be making a move to bring the young center into their roster. Sodto, who has been steadily developing his game internationally and in various leagues, represents a unique prospect for the Lakers. Known for his 7'3" frame and impressive agility, he could provide the Lakers with a much-needed boost in the paint, complementing their existing stars. Though the team hasn't officially confirmed any deal, insiders hint that negotiations are underway, sparking excitement among fans eager to see the Lakers strengthen their lineup. The Los Angeles Lakers, historically known for their pursuit of top talent, might see in Sodto a long-term project with immediate potential. Given his youth and room for growth, Sodto fits the profile of a player who could evolve into a dominant force in the NBA. The possibility of him donning the iconic purple and gold jersey is tantalizing, especially for Filipino basketball fans who have followed his journey closely. While the Lakers continue to build around veterans and emerging stars, adding Sodto could signify a strategic shift toward investing in promising young talent. Speculation is rife that the team's front office is impressed not just with Sodto's physical attributes, but also his work ethic and basketball IQ. If the Lakers finalize a deal, it could mark a landmark moment not only for the franchise, but for the global basketball community. However, it's worth noting that nothing is set in stone. The NBA market is notoriously unpredictable, and other teams might still be circling around the young center. Contract details, salary cap considerations, and Sodto's own career goals will undoubtedly play a crucial role in the final outcome. But with every new report, the buzz grows louder, and the idea of Sodto as a Laker no longer seems far-fetched. In conclusion, the Lakers signing Sodto remains a tantalizing rumor, a story unfolding with every insider tip and social media post. Whether this promising Filipino talent will soon call Los Angeles home is a question that NBA fans worldwide are watching closely, awaiting the official confirmation that could reshape the Lakers' future and inspire a new generation of basketball enthusiasts. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.